What's up, Shantastic Gang? A little bit of this, a little bit of this. Okay, welcome back to another coaching video. I have 3 things here listed today that will change your life for overall being a human being, overall being an entrepreneur, overall being a content creator. And make sure you stay to the end, because that's the one that I find that people love the most. People love to talk about the rewards and talk about, after the pain has subsided, after the pain has subsided, okay, and they love to talk about the other side of the bridge before they don't like to talk about the crossing the bridge and the shaking and it doing a little Kim, the bridge doing a little Kim. Imagine a wooden bridge across a long valley and it ain't nothing below there. But people want to talk about, oh, how I got to the other side, but they don't want to tell you about the 3 things that they potentially had to do in order to get to the other side of the bridge. And I'm here to explain some of the things as someone who was a beginning content creator. So number 1, I just want to say, set a goal and don't deviate from it. So simply what I mean when I say set a goal and don't deviate from it is literally, I'm the grumpy old troll who lives under the bridge. A shout out to all my Dora stands. If you out there watch Dora, you got some children that watch Dora and Diego, you get what I'm saying. But imagine that bridge that you're going through and you're swaying back and forth and you're rocking and you're looking down and you don't see nothing but a huge valley and none of that. You have to stay your course, okay? You see that other side of the valley, where the bridge is ending. You seeing the other piece of land over there. You have to stick to the path, no matter how many the wind blows you in, or how many gaps is inside the bridge, or what them things called, planks or levels that's in the bridge. You can't step into a hole, because then that's it, okay? And if you step into a hole, make sure the other foot don't go in there. All right, we all make mistakes, but the main thing to stick to is to be consistent in whatever that you're doing, and do your best. I'm gonna just be 100% honest, and I don't know if this is honest, to whoever, but I just feel like some people can see that people have it factors, like they're how you think of an adventure story and it's always the hero and then it's the person. So when I think of Naruto and Sasuke, like Naruto had to work really hard to be able to be a fire ninja. Or we talking about Lee had to work really hard because he didn't have any chakra, so he had to focus on his hands and taijutsu. So I just feel like sometimes you're not always the chosen person when it comes to media. People might always overlook you, but you worked your way up to getting where you are, where people had to respect you, people had to call in your name because you were the best person with the solution. You were the best person to solve this problem. You're the best person who is a professional in your field, and so that's what I think of when I say you have to set a goal and don't deviate from it, because you never know when you will be able to cash out on the fruits of your labor. Okay, the second thing that, I think a lot of people will tell you that will improve you overall as an entrepreneur, human being, and a content creator is to basically learn your lesson the first time, wherever that might be. If you get a bad contract from a brand deal, learn how to do your taxes. When you're doing brand partnerships or you're doing link up partnerships, when you're doing collaborations, it's very important that you learn your lesson the first time. It's not crazy situations that I've been in and I had to let certain brand deals go, even though I only really had one successful brand deal, and I had to let other opportunities go because the contract wasn't sitting right, and I had to understand what that means to me, my likeness and how they want to use my voice or use my talent, and I didn't used to look at myself as someone who I consider myself talented, but I didn't know how to look at myself and then put a price on my abilities. And then I feel like at the same time too, God presents so many situations in your life, and either you're ready for them right then, or you're gonna keep living your life and that same situation is gonna boomerang back, and God's gonna test you again. Like I feel like I'm going through that situation personally in my life right now, especially I was talking to you all about moving and doing all these extravagant wonderful things, and I feel like when I had my first apartment, I made a couple mistakes, and I had to come home for a little while, and that made me open my eyes to everything not to do, as being a responsible adult, as someone being 26 who rebuilding their life. So I feel like now a lot of things are returning to me, and I know it's God, and as these things are returning to me, it's just like, okay, you see this happening again, don't make that same mistake. You see this happening again, what does this look like? Baby, it's deja vu. So make sure when you see that lesson come around again, that you're ready to pass it. Okay, make sure that you're not making the same mistake again if you can help it. And if you're having an issue, don't be afraid to reach out and ask people, for answers. Don't be afraid to question things that don't make sense to you. So I kind of jumped ahead of my point in the last section about preparing for the test or whatnot. So when I was living on my own in my own apartment and whatnot, like I paid my bills and stuff fine. I didn't need like flex rent or different options to where you'll be able to afford your rent in like two payments, or like have multiple ways to be able to not be kicked out or whatever. And I had multiple streams of income, but I didn't have like multiple assets, and I didn't have like placements for like money to be set dormant, or I didn't have investments, just a whole bunch of things that you can be able to assets, a whole bunch of assets that you're able to acquire when things aren't going right or they're not going your way. So like car insurance, like everything was starting to get so expensive, and I didn't have the managing tools at that moment. It just took a long time for me to sit back and watch others do it, who has been doing it for a long time. Watch people be able to pay their rent on time, or watch people who have been in a frenzy, or listen to people who have faced eviction before. I never been evicted, but watch people and listen to their stories about them being evicted and how they were going to the court office, and they was either evicted or they was asked to pay a certain amount, not to be evicted out of their apartment. And I feel like this is just a personal thing. I probably could have kept my first apartment if I would just went to court and just paid the fees. But I feel like it's a God made me come back home, in order to learn my lesson with that. And I feel that I was being irresponsible, uh, with marijuana, just burning trees all the time. Just so this time around, I know now. If you know better, do better. If you know better, do better. Okay, so like I said, it's good for you to prepare for the test. So if you got whatever you got going on, if you know that you're not ready for it right now, then you need to be preparing for that test. If you know that you've been halfway studying, you need to go ahead and prepare for that test. If you know the test is around the corner, you need to go ahead and prepare for that test. So whatever that test may be for you in your life, just make sure that you're always prepared, you're constantly studying, and you pass that test when the time comes. Yeah. And before I get out of here, because I always want to leave on a positive note, things do always get better. And like I said, that test that I was going through is coming back around now. And everything that I lost, I thought that I would never receive back again, or never be able to see it again, which is untrue, because now I'm seeing like I went through all that all this time just to get it back again. So just let you know, anything that God or your creator put into your life, you'll be able to get it again. No matter how much you lose, you'll be able to get it again. If you get those skills those necessary skills that you need, those foundation, those building blocks, for lack of better words, nobody can ever be able to take that away from you. But what I really want to say too at the end of the day is, your life isn't built in one decision. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't built on one day or one bad day or one bad year. It's about consistently making the right decision every day, whatever that might look like for you. Every single day that you get up, and for lack of better sense of examples, every day you get up, brush your teeth, wash your face, take a shower. Every day you get up, you check your bank account. You make sure you have an IRA. You make sure you have a high yield saving account. You make sure that you have a certain amount of how much ever money you want inside your bank account. You make sure you eat a certain amount a day in calories. You make sure you exercise daily. So it's all about the choices that you make daily, in your life, in order to achieve your main goals, or whatever, however you see your life as being successful. That's it for this episode. Make sure to keep building your life one decision at a time, okay? And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now. Make sure to do all those YouTube things. Make sure to like this video, like this video, share this video with your mom, dad, your uncle, your auntie, your uncle, auntie. Okay. Make sure to leave a purple heart in the comments because over here we show love. Okay. And make sure to tap the notification bell so you can be notified every time I post a video. And this is bye for now.